All right, buckle up, webheads, because today we are diving into the news that has the whole Spider-Man fandom buzzing.
Yeah, it's been a long wait for any news about what's next for Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
A long wait indeed, and honestly, the internet has been swirling with rumors for so long now.
Oh, tell me about it.
But now, finally, we've got something concrete to talk about.
Would you?
Fresh from CinemaCon.
Straight from the source.
That's right, we're talking about the official title reveal and some early details about the fourth MCU Spider-Man film.
Yeah, if you're tired of wading through all that speculation online.
Well, you've come to the right place because on this deep dive, we're going to break down all the essential info you need to know.
We're going to unpack that title, what it could mean, and give you some insight into what we might be able to expect from the film.
So without further ado, let's swing right into it. The title of the next Spider-Man film starring Tom Holland is officially Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Spider-Man, Brand New Day. And, you know, the way they revealed it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just some press release or a tweet.
No.
Tom Holland himself appeared in a video message at CinemaCon
Yeah.
to announce the title.
And to make it even more special,
Destin Daniel Cretton
the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
was there on stage.
Now, seeing him involved, I gotta say, it really piques my interest.
Oh yeah, for sure. What he did with Shang-Chi
Visually stunning film.
meant so much heart and character development.
You know what makes me think? With Cretton at the helm, we could be in for a Spider-Man film that really digs deep into Peter Parker's story.
Maybe explore some emotional depths we haven't seen in the MCU Spider-Man films so far.
Exactly, and we also got a release date, something to look forward to.
July 31st, 2026.
Yeah, mark your calendars, everyone, because that's when we'll finally get to see Spider-Man. Brand New Day.
July 31st, 2026.
All right, so let's talk about that title.
Brand New Day.
It's not just a catchy phrase.
Especially for those familiar with Spider-Man comics.
Right. It has some serious weight to it.
It actually refers to a pretty major storyline from 2008.
Yeah, and the context of that story is really interesting when you think about where No Way Home left off.
Okay, so for our listeners who might not be as deep into the comics, can you give us a little background on the Brand New Day storyline?
Yeah, so essentially, Brand New Day followed a huge event in the Spider-Man comics.
Like universe-altering huge.
Oh yeah, massive changes.
Okay.
And as a result of this event, through some, let's call it comic book magic, everyone in the world forgot that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Wait a minute, everyone forgets Peter Parker. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar? Like, incredibly similar to the ending of No Way Home.
Right. It's a pretty striking parallel.
Doctor Strange's spell.
Yeah.
Everyone forgetting Peter, and now this title, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. I mean, it feels like a direct connection, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, it's almost like they're picking up that thread and running with it.
Yeah, like Peter's really starting over from scratch.
With a completely clean slate.
But a pretty lonely one, too, if no one remembers him or his relationships or his history.
Yeah, that's the thing. This fresh start comes at a huge cost for Peter.
Now, for anyone who has read the comics, the 2008 Brand New Day arc also had another pretty major, and let's just say controversial element.
We're talking about the decision to undo Peter's marriage to Mary Jane Watson, right?
Exactly.
Just to be clear, for our listeners, we're simply mentioning this because it was a big part of that storyline in the comics.
We're not here to debate or pass judgment on that creative decision.
No, not at all.
We're just laying out the facts and the connections to the source material.
Right, providing context.
So, along with the title, we also got some interesting comments from both Tom Holland and Destin Daniel Cretton.
Yeah, Tom Holland, he said something that I think is really key here.
What was that?
He said, quote, Spider-Man, Brand New Day is a fresh start, end quote.
Short, simple.
But very powerful considering how No Way Home ended.
Yeah, it sets the stage for a film that's not just going to be business as usual.
No, this is something new.
A reset for the characters.
It really makes you wonder, what does a fresh start even look like for Peter Parker at this point?
Right, what does that even mean after everything he's been through?
And Cretton, you know, he was clearly enthusiastic about the project.
Oh yeah, his passion was evident.
He described the film as a ride that we haven't really seen before.
And he emphasized being a lifelong Spider-Man fan.
And being drawn to Peter Parker's humor and his, quote, messy humanity.
That's a great way to put it, messy humanity.
It's what makes Peter so relatable, right?
Absolutely. It's like he understands the core of the character, the things that make Spider-Man so enduring.
And you know, when a director has that kind of passion, it often translates to something special on screen.
I totally agree. It sounds like he's got a clear vision for what he wants to bring to this film.
And his enthusiasm went beyond just the character. He talked about working with a talented team to explore, quote, the next stage of Peter's journey.
And he even got a little geeky about it, mentioning nerding out over the suit, how to swing, how to create an event, an emotional story.
I love that. That mix of focusing on the big action spectacle and the emotional core of the story is what makes these superhero films really resonate.
Right, it's about finding that balance.
So we have a fresh start, a unique cinematic experience, a focus on Peter's humor and his flaws.
And all guided by a director who's clearly a fan.
It's shaping up to be something really special.
Okay, so now let's talk about the team behind the camera.
All right.
Any updates on the production timeline?
Yeah, Cretton announced at CinemaCon that filming is expected to begin this summer, 2025.
So things are moving forward.
Definitely.
That's good to hear.
On the writing side,
Yes, who's crafting this story?
we have Erik Sommers and Chris McKenna
The dynamic duo who wrote No Way Home.
coming back to pen the script.
That's great news. They really captured the spirit of this version of Peter Parker.
And with all the threads left hanging from No Way Home.
It makes sense to have that continuity in the writing team.
Absolutely.
And for anyone who might not be familiar with Destin Daniel Cretton's work,
Check out Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
it's a fantastic film that showcases his talent for balancing action and character development.
He really knows how to bring those elements together.
Okay, now the big question that's on everyone's mind,
Hit me with it.
the cast.
Ah,
Any hints about who might be joining Tom Holland in Spider-Man? Brand New Day.
well, if we're going by the established relationships in the previous films, it's very likely that Zendaya and Jacob Batalon will be back.
As MJ and Ned?
Peter's best friends, or at least they were before everyone forgot him.
It's hard to imagine a Spider-Man film without their dynamic.
They bring so much humor and heart to the story.
Of course, the internet's always buzzing with casting rumors.
Oh, all.
Any particularly juicy ones circulating right now?
Well, there have been reports that Sadie Sink might be joining the cast.
Interesting. Any ideas about who she might be playing?
Some speculation has her potentially portraying Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, as in the X-Men's Jean Grey.
That's right.
Now, that would be huge.
It would.
But we should be careful to point out.
This is purely speculation at this point.
Yes, as of the CinemaCon announcement, no official casting confirmations have been made beyond the writers and director.
So while it's fun to theorize, we'll just have to wait and see.
Patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to MCU casting announcements.
That's for sure.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture.
All right.
How does this new Spider-Man film fit into the sprawling world of the MCU?
And don't forget Sony's own Spider-Man universe.
It's a lot to keep track of.
It can be.
So for anyone who might be a little confused about how all these pieces fit together, can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure, so first of all, the film rights to Spider-Man are actually owned by Sony Pictures.
Right.
But back in 2015, Sony and Disney made a historic deal,
Which allowed Spider-Man to join the MCU,
and it's been a huge success.
both critically and commercially.
It's given us those amazing moments of Spider-Man fighting alongside the Avengers.
So where does this new Spider-Man film fall in the current MCU timeline?
Well, looking ahead, we have Thunderbolts coming out in May of 2026.
And then the Fantastic Four. First Steps is scheduled to premiere just before Spider-Man. Brand New Day in July 2026.
And of course, looming on the horizon is Avengers Doomsday,
The big team-up film.
which Tom Holland is confirmed to be a part of.
It's going to be an eventful couple of years for Peter Parker.
It seems that way.
Now what about Tom Holland's projects outside the MCU?
He's keeping busy.
Oh yeah, he's been branching out and taking on some diverse roles lately.
He's set to star in Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey.
Playing Telemachus?
And he's also attached to star in a crime thriller called American Speed.
Alongside Austin Butler.
He's exploring different genres and challenging himself as an actor.
It's amazing to think that his career started long before he put on the Spider-Man suit.
His journey has been fascinating to follow.
He actually started out in dance,
That's right.
making his debut on the West End stage in London back in 2008 in Billy Elliot the Musical.
He played the title role, Billy Elliot,
For a couple of years,
showcasing his talent at a very young age.
from stage to screen.
He did some voice work in the UK version of Studio Ghibli's Arrietty in 2010,
But his breakout role, the one that really put him on the map before Spider-Man,
was in the film The Impossible in 2012,
based on the true story of the family caught in the 2004 tsunami.
a powerful and emotional film.
And his performance was incredible.
It really showed the world what he was capable of as an actor.
And then, of course, the MCU came calling, and everything changed.
But even while playing Spider-Man, he's continued to take on diverse roles.
Like in The Lost City of Z, Uncharted, and even The Devil. all the time.
He's proven that he's not a one-trick pony,
And he recently returned to the stage in a new production of Romeo and Juliet.
showing that he's still passionate about live performance.
He's a talented guy.
He is.
And speaking of talent, let's not forget about the box office power of the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man films.
Those numbers are impressive.
Spider-Man. Homecoming raked in almost $880 million worldwide,
Far From Home went over the billion-dollar mark.
with $1.13 billion.
And then No Way Home? Wow.
It became a cultural phenomenon.
Especially considering it was released during the pandemic.
It earned a staggering $1.9 billion globally.
That's a testament to the enduring appeal of Spider-Man.
And to the way these films have resonated with audiences.
And in his CinemaCon message, Tom Holland made a point of thanking theater owners,
For their continued support of the Spider-Man movies.
recognizing their role in making these films such a success.
Now, we can't talk about Tom Holland in the MCU without mentioning his, shall we say, reputation for spoilers.
Oh yeah, he's known for letting slip a few details here and there.
Or maybe more than a few.
Maybe.
He's become kind of legendary for accidentally revealing MCU secrets.
But in his announcement video, he actually addressed this.
He did.
He said he believes he's, quote, well over the hump of giving away spoilers.
And he assured everyone he wouldn't be doing that today.
Let's hope so.
We'll see if he can keep those lips sealed this time around.
I guess only time will tell.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, first and foremost, we now know the title, Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
And that title has strong connections to both the ending of No Way Home and a major storyline in the comics.
We also have a release date, July 31st, 2026,
And filming is set to begin this summer.
with Destin Daniel Cretton directing.
And the writers of No Way Home returning to pen the scripts,
It seems like we're in for a fresh start for Peter Parker.
as Tom Holland himself put it.
And with Cretton's passion for the character and his vision for the film.
It sounds like we can expect something unique and emotionally resonant,
It's going to be exciting to see what they do with this brand new day concept.
especially considering the implications of everyone forgetting Peter Parker.
Right, how does he rebuild his life and his relationships when no one even remembers him?
What does it mean to be Spider-Man when the world has no memory of your heroic deeds?
These are some big questions that the film will hopefully explore.
The possibilities are endless.
It's a blank slate for the character and for the storytellers.
So if you're as excited as we are to see how this next chapter unfolds,
And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news and analysis as it comes out,
be sure you hit that subscribe button.
we'll be here to break it all down for you.
There's always more to explore, more to unpack,
So stay tuned.
and we'll see you in the next deep dive.
Take care, everyone.